alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I want to play a game.
Hello and welcome to the Sounds from the Grave podcast, a podcast where we talk all things horror and horror related. My name is Yussef.
And my name is Vania.
And evil dies tonight.
Hi guys, so happy Halloween. It is finally that time of year where we all dress up and pretend to be who we want to be or what we wish to be. So we have a very special episode. This episode, words, but it's fine. But you know, it's gonna be a fun episode because we will be talking about a movie that actually recently released, which is Halloween Kills.
That is correct. So we're gonna be kind of deep diving into Halloween Kills. We're gonna try and do it a little bit different because we were just talking about this earlier, where like our last couple of episodes have been us kind of summarizing the movie. But this time we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to do more of an actual review and talking about things that we liked in the movie, things we didn't like, some of the technical aspects for like the filmmaking aspect of it, some like, music and that kind of stuff. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into just us talking about what happens in the movie.
Like to apologize in advance, just in case we are jumping back and forth because since we're not kind of going in order, we might mention stuff that happened earlier in the movie or later in the movie. So don't feel confused. But if you haven't seen the movie, this is actually a little bit better. So you're not actually feeling like you're getting the movie spoiled or just handed to you. But it's something, that you should consider while listening to us. We might be jumping back and forth. It's
Correct.
Not going to be in order.
Yeah. Now, granted, with that being said, I definitely will say that there are going to be spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen Halloween Kills, I would click away from the episode, watch it, and then come back, just in case. Because we are definitely going to be talking what happens in the movie and going into the spoiler territory at some point.
All right. And also, if you guys have not watched Halloween Kills, it is available on Peacock. Of course, with the subscription, I have tried to do the free subscription and it doesn't work that way. You do have to pay the $14.99 to be able to have access to Halloween Kills.
Yep.
But if you don't want to pay that, it is fine. You can go into theaters and it will be right there waiting for you. Just back in the old times before, the panini. But, it's fine.
Panini. the panini. I like we're going to come up with a different...
Express, panini. Like, I say all kinds of weird.
We should just try to come up with like different ones.
Keyword. Yeah.
With like, we should just try to come up with like different words for it at this point. But without further ado, actually, real quick, do you have any news to share? Or anything that you've seen going on in horror?
Not exactly. Unless you do.
The only big one that I saw recently, it was something that I saw on Bloody Disgusting. It's this new Halloween kind of spooky movie, kind of a gateway movie. It's more for like aimed at like, not necessarily like Kitty Crab, but more of like a family type movie.
Oh, I was about to say teeny boppers.
Not teeny boppers. It's not aimed. Don't worry. It's not just aimed at crotch goblins. It's aimed at the family.
Oh, okay. Just like Hubie Halloween. Hubie Halloween's a little aimed.
But I freaking love Hubie Halloween. It's such a fun like Halloween movie, though.
Yeah, what's crazy is that I think last year we just covered like almost like the traditional Halloween movies that people watch, kind of like Trick or Treat, Hubie Halloween, which is the newcomer into the traditions one, and of course I think
Hocus Pocus.
Focus. Trick or Treat.
Yeah. And Hubie.
And Hubie, yeah.
So, but what's really cool is it is going to be a stop motion movie, similar to Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, Corpse Bride, that kind of stuff. And it's going to have Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele from Key and Peele. And it is also directed by the same person who directed Nightmare Before Christmas.
I know it's not Tim Burton,
Correct. Yes, it is the original
but
director of Nightmare Before Christmas. The name escapes me. I do not remember the name for it, but I think it's pretty cool. It's cool that he's gonna come back and do another stop motion Halloween type movie.
that's going to be really cool. I love stop
Yeah.
motion films. I think they're so great. That's a dedicated art.
Oh,
I
for
just wish
sure.
they could make more of it, but I know that it's a very tedious project
Mm-hmm.
to do in film.
Ooh, we should take a whole month and do like like a month based on stop motion Halloween type movies. That would be
Yeah,
so much
yeah.
fun.
I think so too. That'd be actually. I mean, I think at the Halloween party we watched Coraline.
Mm.
So yeah, the Coraline is very
Oh
creepy.
yeah.
Still gives me nightmares and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely do it. That'd be fun. Uh, but that's like really like the biggest news that I have. The other stuff I'm not gonna get into too much detail because I tend to that's gonna be out on a horror news of the week episodes that I do. So that's if you want to get more in depth and get some more details on that, you can check those out.
Yeah, and before we also get into Halloween Kills, Yusuf, I have one question.
Sure.
What are you dressing up for Halloween this year?
I'm not sure yet because I actually have 2 days that I'm gonna be doing Halloween costumes just because my job as part of like their you know appreciation month or whatever they're doing like themed kind of like Spirit Week for high school
Uh,
but throughout the entire month and then for the 30th and the 31st we have costume days and like a costume contest. So I know for sure one of the
oh,
costumes I'm
the
gonna be doing.
prize.
I don't know what the prices are yet. They haven't told us.
Oh,
But
whack.
last year it was like gift cards, like Starbucks gift cards and like Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. I'm like, it's food. I'll probably try to get one of those.
$10 gift cards. Pathetic.
It's something
Okay.
though. It's a free
Yeah.
meal. But I'm gonna go back to one I had done a couple of years ago. That I actually did for a con. I did for MegaCon. I didn't do for Halloween, but I'm gonna go dress as Han Solo.
Well, I haven't seen you in that one in a bit.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the other one, just because like it has to be a little bit, safe for work. So like I can't do director because I can't walk around with a bloody suit all day.
Ash?
Well, Ash is also bloodstained. That's why the costume I had for Ash is completely bloodstained as well. So I can't do that
Uh,
one either.
Ash? Your
No,
ash is barely blood
well, no,
stained. Like it has blood, I
I
can see it, but
made I added more and I made modifications to it. That's why. Just in case I was gonna do it
uh,
again, I kind of went a little overboard with it. So like it's no longer safe for work.
rip.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you'll figure out something.
Oh yeah, for sure. But without further ado, actually no, what are you dressing up as?
Uh, in between three things,
Oh.
I am hoping that because my tradition for Halloween is like I usually go out to downtown Orlando with my dad. We just kind of show off our costumes. We take pictures with people. Because we know we the ish. It's a little weird. But we just kind of go and enjoy the vibes out there. Just out in the streets. We don't go
Hmm.
into the bars because it gets really crowded.
Oh yeah, especially right now
Uh
during the panini.
during the panini, of
Yeah.
course. If my bride outfit still fits, but if it doesn't, like no biggie. I know I have to lose weight for it anyway. I will probably try and do bride. Then I'll do scream. I did like a very simple, sexy scream, ghost face costume, and then I'm just gonna do my Jack the Clown, one that I did for the MegaCon after party,
Oh
which
yeah,
you
your
guys
your
had
gender
on my
bent.
Twitter. My gender bent,
Yeah,
yes,
that was a
and my
cool.
dad's probably gonna do the also the classic Jack the Clown outfit with the white suit as well.
Very cool. I still remember that one time that I went downtown as well, and I was dressed as Jack from BioShock that year. Which actually
Yeah,
that wouldn't be a bad idea to do, except for the shoes. The shoes are gonna be really uncomfortable if I'm doing a 9 hour shift at work, but we'll see what I do. Um, but
the specific type of shoe.
yeah, I had like like 40s 50s type shoes for that costume because the game is set in the like 1960s, so I had to kind of go a little throwback on the shoes there.
Ah,
Um, But yeah, I remember seeing a small person walking around dressed as Sam from Trick or Treat
Hi guys.
next to the Scarecrow from Halloween Town from Nightmare Before Christmas. And as soon as I saw that little Sam running around, I'm like, I know exactly who that is. I know that person.
It was me. It was me.
Which I thought was hilarious because like we took a picture together and then you just like pop the mask open. You're like, "What's up, bitch?"
Yeah.
Which is
That
hilarious.
that costume is so comfy.
Oh, that
What's
costume is
crazy
fucking
is that
iconic.
the thing is that I had to create that costume completely from scratch. And this is when no one and their mother has heard of this fucking movie. Like, no one knew who Sam was. There was no costumes of Sam. And mind you, that this movie has been around since like the early 2000s or kind of late-ish,
Yeah, oh 07, I
pushing the
think.
late-ish. But literally, the fact that it's everywhere now and the fact that I made mine, I mean, I take pride in it. But it's like, oh, everybody wants to be Sam. I'm like, did you even know the movie before you was? Not that I'm gatekeeping Trick or Treat or anything
Yeah.
because I love Trick or Treat,
I
but
definitely think
still,
Horror Nights had a lot to do with like the surge in popularity, though. Just because I mean, it was a scary show within a house,
100%.
so like, it's everywhere now.
100%. Because I'm like, why did all of a sudden everybody know about Sam?
Yeah.
Like, and then here I am with my handmade costume, which is hot as fuck because the one for Halloween is super comfortable, but that mask is like rubber, like almost like a latex
Ooh.
rubber, but it makes it look like it's mesh over the top.
Mhm.
I'm like, you would not catch me dead in that costume because the one that I have has like paper mache and like as like an overall kind of like an astronaut head, but it has like holes, like really big holes on each side.
Yeah.
And I can actually breathe and I can see through, but nobody can see inside my mask. So it's
Very
perfect
cool.
for me and it's super comfy. I don't have to wear any makeup. I wear my hair in a bun. I'm just wandering around. I'm minding my own fucking business. It's a comfy
Nice.
ass costume.
There you go.
Hmm.
All right, but I do believe it is time for us to get into the nitty gritty and talk about Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, give you guys a little bit of background on Halloween Kills. It was released on October 15th. It was also directed by David Gordon Green, who directed Halloween 2018. So I do like that they're keeping the same director. He's also going to be directing Halloween Ends, which is very cool. Stars Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie, Judy Greer as Karen, Laurie's daughter, and Annie Manichek as Allison, um, Laurie's granddaughter, and James Jude Courtney as the Shape, otherwise known as Michael Myers. And what's really cool too is that it takes place right after Halloween 2018, like immediately after that movie ends is when Halloween Kills begins. And it was, like we said earlier too, it came out in theaters and it's also on Peacock, so there's a couple different ways to watch it there.
Yeah.
But I believe it is. I think we should start with kind of the overall premise of the movie. So if you want to do that, you can.
Basically, I don't know if you want the shortened version or the long version. I don't know what you want
We
me to
should
throw. What bone do you want me to throw at them?
let's do a kind of a shortened version, I guess. So like kind of just like what the movie is about, not super into detail, but like what the movie is about.
Logline. Town comes up after Michael. Kidding. That's it. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, yes, no, kind of. Anyway, but of course, it does have to do with after Lori and her family. I guess I wouldn't call it her family because I know that it's a little weird because it's her daughter and granddaughter all together. They thought that they defeated Michael, but they didn't. And he's back, and he's not only terrorizing to get back at Lori, but also the entire town. But there is a pattern. The town starts to have an uproar. There's the kid that Lori used to take care of is like older now, and he's like trying to like rile up this like the town to come after Michael, that kind of thing. And then a lot of shiz happens.
Oh yeah.
but yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Hmm.
This movie gave me a lot of like like Beauty and the Beast, like Gaston vibes. Like it's like kill the
Kill the
beast. Like
beast.
that's all I thought during those scenes. I'm like, yep.
Here they replace
Like
Kill the Beast with Evil Dies Tonight.
and then I get torch and then finally comes to fade away.
My
Okay,
God.
but
That's great though. I love that analogy for it. That's a pretty good like way to describe it.
yeah, it's like the beast is mine. It's like, oh God. It's
Jeez.
like, but yeah, that's basically like the general premise of the movie.
Hmm.
There is a lot more to it, but of course we will find out more in Halloween ends.
Yes.
But what I really did enjoy about this is that the fact that we get to visit Haddonfield in the 70s. Like, how cool is that?
Yes, we definitely gotta talk about more in detail about those in a sec. But I think what was really interesting too about this movie is that like it wasn't just here's Michael Myers going around killing people and here's Laurie trying to stop him. It's literally like the town people, like the town of Haddonfield is like we have had enough of this. Like we've dealt with this shit for 40 years now, and like we're pissed off. We gotta kill this guy like once and for all, and like rid the town of this evil that's been hanging over the entire town. So I,
Yeah,
I,
for
I like
sure.
the fact that it didn't feel as self contained. It felt like it involved so many more people this time.
Yeah, and I feel like even through all that, like Michael had attachments to I mean, mainly to Laurie Strode's story, but to other families as well that we didn't even
Yeah,
realize that have been affected by his
exactly.
crimes and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was like genuinely really cool, and the fact that it still is keeping the it's Halloween time
Yeah.
kind of vibe. Like it just never moves from that time period, unless like Michael Myers, Michael Myers only comes out during Halloween, which I don't think that's the case. I feel like a killer like that comes out like every year, like any
um,
time of the year.
at least in like all the other movies, he came out on Halloween. Because like Halloween
Only
two,
on
because
Halloween.
yeah, because Halloween 2 takes place just like the original Halloween 2 at least takes place right after Halloween 1, and then Halloween's 4, 5, and 6, or at least 4 and 5, are like 4 is set during Halloween, and then 5 is set exactly 1 year later, so it's still Halloween. And Curse of Michael Myers doesn't go. I don't think it specifies, but I think it's implied that it's also during Halloween. And then so is H2O. I think Resurrection is the only one that isn't particularly set during Halloween. I'm not sure on that one because it's been a while since I saw Resurrection, so I don't remember exactly the timeline on that one. But
You'll
outside
have
of that,
to go through all those movies in 1 month and talk about it. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, that'd be too much. um, but yeah, but outside of that, I think they all usually take place around Halloween. And like I said, this one takes place immediately after Halloween 2018, so it's still Halloween.
Would it also be Halloween? I know this is a very dumb question, but like, is it Halloween in 2018 or are we?
Yes, it is Halloween 2018. Like they specify like during a little title card, when the characters are like the other survivors of Michael Myers are at the bar. Right,
Yeah.
right before we cut to them, it says Halloween 2018.
Oh, well, damn.
Yeah, because I remember it takes place like during what happens in Halloween 2018 anyway. Yeah, but
Yeah.
so I think we should start with the things that we did like about this movie. So, do you want
Okay.
to begin, or do you think I should begin?
I started last time.
Okay, so then I'll go first.
Yeah.
So, right off the bat, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I will go later into like specific scenes and specific plot points in the movie, but overall, one of the things I really, really enjoyed in this was Michael Myers himself. Like, this is by far the most brutal we've ever seen Michael Myers because he is just like mean spirited. Like, I don't know if it was because of the whole thing with the fire or just like they were like, we gotta step it up. But like this Michael Myers just seemed like he was, like after revenge. Like he was pissed off and he was just like taking it out on whoever he came across.
The fact that he had skills that I have never seen in any other movie, I'm like, so you've been working out, have you?
Yeah.
He went through CrossFit. He went through all that. Like this Michael was fast moving and he was strong and he was
Hmm.
so fucking brutal.
Yeah, like he absolutely was. And James Jude Courtney did like such a great job like making Michael Myers like straight up scary in this.
Yeah,
Cuz like there are certain points where like he's going after this like these certain victims and like they have nowhere to go. Like they are stuck with him and like he doesn't just run up at them, he just walks, so like it just makes it more torturous for these people. They're like, shit, just to get it over with, like I need to just stop, please, like just let it end.
yeah.
Oh yeah, but I like that. I really did like the whole um mob mentality thing of like this group of people just sort of going insane trying to hunt down Michael Myers, like to the point where they don't even, they
Sorry, I'm gonna edit something like that. It's gonna be bad.
like it almost felt like, oh, excuse me, we're very tired. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning when we're recording this, so if I yawn, I'm sorry. But
No, he
anyway,
just had to go stick there. What?
oh my god,
It's
I just
Halloween,
had to go.
guys.
I just had
Enjoy
to go. So,
all the
have a
ghost
little fun there.
orgy.
Just had to go. Have a little fun with me. He just went hurt. But anyway, I did like the whole thing about people just sort of going crazy and almost like a riot, and parts of it were kind of like real world scary because it reminded me of what happened in January with like the Capitol building with these people just going insane and like trampling over each other and just, yeah, it was like real, like shocking to see at times. And outside of that too, I did like the returning characters. I like seeing Tommy Doyle, Lindsay, Marion. My only gripe with that being that like, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to like the stuff that I didn't like about certain things with those characters in a little bit. So that's just like some of the basic stuff that I did like though. So like I'm curious to know, what did you think of that? Like what are some things that you liked?
Like you said, I did like how brutal Michael did his kills. I don't know if I should actually do like maybe a little bit later in this episode. We should talk about our favorite kills
Oh
in this
yeah,
movie.
we got to talk about our
Um,
favorite kills.
but of course, the kills were definitely super creative, especially as some things that I'm not saying. I mean, mind you, I have not watched completely all of the Halloween movies, but I have seen a lot of them. So I think these are kills that he hasn't probably performed before because, mind you, like I said, he's like faster, tougher. Like this guy has been going to the Olympics. Michael's on something right now. Um,
He's just running on pure
but it is
rage.
and all that stuff. Yeah, 100%. I do like the element of disbelief between a lot of things. Between Laurie Strode kind of having her delusion that she did like defeat Michael, but then there was also the misinterpretation of what happens later to like an inmate that the mob accidentally kills.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Right? So yeah, there's an inmate that they do kill accidentally, and that's and it really shows how a monster has the capacity to turn an entire town into a monster itself.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he created chaos within the town. So other than that, I above it all, even though this was my first time watching this movie this year, I do have to say I do love the little element of an Easter egg, I guess you could say, of Halloween 3 with all the masks and
Yeah,
how
so the
Michael
silver
uses them
shamrock
against
masks.
all of
Yeah,
them. So it
I
was
love
really
that.
cool.
Yeah, that was a fun little Easter egg. I wasn't expecting it to be that much in the movie, so I'm glad that they were there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a good, like, I want to say 2 solid scenes, but like almost like 10 solid shots of it. It
Yeah,
was pretty good.
and
Yeah.
I do like the fact that you can actually see the kids in Halloween 2018, and like so one of the background shots, you can actually see the three kids wearing the silver shamrock masks. So like, I like that they added
Yeah.
that onto
Of course.
it. And not even that too. One of the things that like one of the lines that really stuck out to me when it comes to like how the town kind of like delved into chaos was the way Lori explained it. She said, "This is it. This is Michael's masterpiece. Like it's like this is what he wanted. Like this, he just wanted the same chaos all over Haddonfield."
Yeah. Of course. Like, I feel like there's a lot of quotable, like really big quotes in this movie that I feel like we could have used any of them in the beginning of our episode, but of course, "Evil Dies Tonight" was the common one.
Yep.
But there's like a lot of things that we do realize that in this movie how Michael goes by a lot of things.
Yep. He's I mean he's the Shape. He's Michael Myers. He's the Boogeyman. You know the ghost of Haddonfield. Like he is like just such a big part of the Haddonfield community at this point. Like he's just like he's been an infection for 40 years and on the people of Haddonfield.
And above it all, I love how I forgot who his name was. I'm so sorry. I watched this movie yesterday, but I'm awful with names. The police officer, how he said that I think his mom forced him to like hang out with Michael. And
Yeah.
we feel like, Michael was a person. He was a human being. He was a kid. He was weird. He was doing some weird ass shit. But he grows up in this town. He knows everybody by name. He probably like knows everybody like in the community. And he's
Yeah.
like, for all the bad things that you guys have done to me, like I'm literally gonna create absolute hell for all of you.
Yeah. What I appreciated about that specific scene too is the fact that they don't give you like a reason as to why he did the things he did. They were like he was just this weird kid and then one day he just snapped. Like that's all you need to know cuz like that is essentially the essence of Michael Myers. Like you don't, as much as I love Rob Zombie's Halloween, which I love that it gives you kind of a prequel like leading up to the events and just
Yeah.
showing you as he delves deeper into like his evil persona. I like the aspect of just him being a normal human being that just snapped one day.
Yeah, of course. I feel like that was really a cool element. Like I said, it gives him a little bit more of a personality. Like anybody is capable of snapping and causing the things that they do.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, going back to what you said, or like to some of the things that we liked, I think something that you'll agree with me on these two things. The first one being Judy Greer as Karen. Like in terms of her acting, I think this was her best performance so far. Like compared to Halloween 2018, which is still she was still amazing in that, but like she was really really good in this one.
I think I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think it also has to do with the fact that she had more to do in the movie, because in Halloween 2018 she didn't really do much until the end, but in this one like she had a role to play. Like she was there to protect her mother. She tried to help that inmate that died during like the riot, and she was responsible for what happens at the end of the movie. You know,
Oh,
where with like the vigilante justice type stuff. So I like that she had a more, like a bigger role in this.
yeah, but someone please explain to me one thing though. Someone please fucking explain to me one thing. Why the fuck was she wearing a Christmas sweater?
I don't know. I
Yeah, I
don't
was like,
know.
I, I
I don't know.
honestly, like, this is when I will tell you things I didn't fucking like about this movie. Why the fuck was she wearing a Christmas sweater? It's Halloween though. Like right now, my mind is guiltily going into Christmas,
Not yet, not
but
yet.
that's besides the point. Listen, bitch. But why was she wearing a Christmas sweater? Like
Yeah, I
I was
don't
like,
understand that either.
why?
I don't know who made that
What was
choice.
the costuming choice? What? what was the reason for the costuming choice?
Yeah.
I want to know who the fuck your costuming designer is because I cannot. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really weird decision.
I was like, did I miss something? Like, did we pass Christmas or was she at a Christmas party, a Halloween Christmas party? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
besides that,
Apparently. Or maybe she was dressing up as like a Christmas obsessed person for Halloween. That could have been her costume.
man, and y'all thought I had a problem. I mean, I like both holidays, but y'all thought I had a problem. This bitch got a problem where you ballsy if you're wearing anything Christmas for Halloween. Unless you're dressing up as Buddy the Elf, I'll excuse you. Yeah. Because iconic. I love Buddy the Elf. The fuck?
He's great.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing too that I think was really well made, and we'll get deeper into that when we talk about some of the technical aspects of it, but the flashback scenes.
Oh yeah,
The
100%.
flashback scenes in this movie were so good. Like they were
I felt like I was
so
back
well
watching the
made.
70s film. I was like, ah,
Yeah,
yes.
it was great. It was absolutely great. And like I said, we'll get deeper into that when we get to some more of like the technical specifics of that. But now we get to the things that we didn't particularly love about this movie. I
Why
do
was
have a
she wearing a Christmas
why
sweater?
she wearing a Christmas sweater. Yes, that's one of them. um, One of the things I didn't particularly like is that Lori does not do anything in this movie other than talk to Frank from a hospital bed, and kind of pretty almost all of her dialogue was the stuff that we had heard in the trailers.
Yeah, she didn't have enough screen time. I'd
Yeah,
agree.
that was kind of a shame. There was that, and then there was also some issues with like the pacing where sometimes I would forget about what certain characters were doing. Like at
Yeah.
certain points, like when they would cut, there's a certain part where they cut to Allison, Lonnie, and Cameron. I was like, oh shit, I forgot they were doing stuff. I
Yeah,
kind of forgot
so
about them.
about that, that's also another thing I was very confused about while I was watching this movie. Like someone would get done with something and then we jump into another scene and it's like, wait, was that during or before or
Yeah,
after?
the timing of
I
everything
was
feels a little
like,
weird.
yeah, I was like, I don't know how to particularly, and the fact that, obviously, spoiler alert. I mean, it's not really a big spoiler because it's Michael.
Yeah,
Um, the fact that it took them a while to realize those firefighters were dead. Like there was a long time that passed, of course, between the flashback and that one scene where like
yes,
we forget that those firefighters. I'm like, so, and then when we jump to the bar scene where they all realize, oh shit, these firefighters are dead. I'm like, wait, how long did it take y'all
yeah,
to
exactly. Well,
realize?
they explain it in a certain way. Like here's what one of my biggest issues. As great as the flashback scenes were, they were put in the wrong spot in the movie. I feel like
I
they should have
agree.
been put because you know how at one point in the hospital bed Frank says, "Oh, like I had a chance to stop him and I didn't." Right there would have been the perfect moment to put the flashback scene in instead of right at the beginning of
Yeah,
the movie. I feel like that was a little
yeah,
bit jarring, especially because you kind of want to see exactly what happens like immediately after, and like they kind of start you off that little prologue. I
yeah. But
would
I feel
have
like this
liked
was
it
all to
better.
have a set way for the Tommy scene. I think it was Tommy. Um, when he goes to the bar, he says, "Well, I was a survivor. Like I was like face to face like encounter with Michael."
Yeah,
And then it's set up for that scene. Which another thing that I will definitely tell you is that I get that Tommy was very passionate about a community coming together going against Michael. But I'm like, what does the speech that Tommy delivered was way too long. I'm like, what do you particularly have that Michael wants that because the main person that he's actually after is Lori. It's not you. Like, why
yeah.
are you so?
And
shooken
actually,
up about
yeah,
it.
exactly. Well, of course, as a child, that would be such a traumatic experience to have to deal with a serial killer.
Yeah.
But
But
when
the
it
fact
comes
that it
to,
was with different people, though, like the fact that the
yeah,
people that he brought out, like in the spotlight, like this woman came face to face encounter. This one, like escaped, I think, from his hand. The other
yeah,
one, whatever. So it's like, but what those people contributed nothing, but spoiler alert, their deaths later. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I think it was just more of like commemorating the 40th anniversary of those events and just saying like, hey, some people died, but like some of us were able to fight and become survivors. We didn't,
yeah,
because like of course this person had a face to face encounter. This person, was another one of the victims. Like this person was also attacked. So I think it was just more of like saying, hey, like it's like part of the strength of us as characters and also the strength of Haddonfield. Um, But yeah, I will agree that that speech went off a little too long, and also the way he's like the way that speech was set up was just weird. Because like you have these characters in a bar like during a talent show, everybody's having fun, and then they're like, "Oh, here comes Tommy Doyle," and he just brings the mood down. He's
he's
like,
like, oh, he's the best like bird
yeah,
whistler,
because
and then like,
everybody's like, you got these like singers, you got this guy playing around with like a puppet, being a ventriloquist, and they're like, here's the best bird whistler, Tommy. Have you guys heard of the boogeyman?
yeah, it's like
He
I'm not gonna
killed three
whistle for any
people.
of you guys.
It's like he killed three
I
people.
was like,
By the way, enjoy the talent show.
yeah. I mean, I feel like that bar scene in general was just a
It
little
was a
too
little
long.
clunky. Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah. But, other than that, everything else in the movie, um, but another thing that I will talk about, sorry about that, I'm jumping back. I told you guys I was gonna do that. Um, oh shit, but should I leave it for the kills? Because I feel like that shit, well, that's a technical aspect. Ignore me.
Okay.
Ignore me. It's fine. Yeah,
Um.
it's a technical aspect.
Yeah, and the other thing too, it's one specific character, Marion
Who?
Chambers, the doctor or the nurse that was in the first Halloween.
Yes, I
So
think so.
like, why was she in Haddonfield? Like it's never implied that she's from Haddonfield in the first Halloween. Like she's just driving a car in Haddonfield. Like that's it. And Michael Myers just jumps on the hood of the car and then smashes the window next to her. Like that's all he does. And I'm like,
Yeah,
why did you just move to Haddonfield? Like what are you there for? Like, that's one of those things that like I was confused as to like why she's in there. I like,
yeah,
but outside of that, there isn't a whole lot I didn't particularly like in this movie. There's a lot I liked compared to what I didn't like.
yeah. I mean, a little cute little whatever. That I did like about this movie is the doctor and the nurse couple.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they were great.
they were dressed up as that for their Halloween costume, and they exactly were that, which
Yeah,
was hilarious to me. I was like, "Ah, that's kind of cute, and little
yeah.
flip on the nose, like that's cute."
And this is actually something too
Shame
that
that happened.
happens. This is something that Halloween 2018 was also guilty of. It tends to introduce this really interesting, kind of quirky characters, but then kills them off immediately.
Yeah, it's
And
like
you're
this
like,
kills
oh,
me
I like
quick.
their
I feel like
personality. Like
attention.
maybe they shouldn't have died. Like in this movie, it was them too.
Yeah,
And then in Halloween 2018, or even like the couple, that Michael kills after he kills all the firemen. Like they just introduce these characters. They have like these weird little quirks, and then they immediately get killed off. So like they don't do that great a job of like establishing any type of attachment to these characters. They're like, oh, they're just that person with this thing, and that's it.
yeah.
They're just there to be killed.
They're
Um,
your little victims to watch. Have
yeah,
fun.
yeah. But like I said, the movie itself is incredible. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Um, I know it's been very, very polarizing. Like either it's kind of those movies. It's one of those movies where either you like it, you love it, or you hate it right now. Because some
Yeah.
people really, really liked it, really enjoyed it, and some people straight up hated this movie and like wanted to
Oh,
like
I saw a
burn
lot
it
of
alive,
those.
you know?
And then there was the whole fucking articles like Michael's homophobic because he go what?
It
Like
I hate that article because I'm like that doesn't that does not mean that he's homophobic. Michael Myers just kills whatever he has in front of him. Like it does not matter who you are, it does not matter gender, it does not matter color of your skin, it does not matter your age, it does not matter your sexual orientation. If you were in front of Michael Myers, he will just kill you. That's it. And
that does
I
not
hate that's
discriminate.
exactly, and I hate that people are complaining about certain things, but but like not holding the same standard to others. Because everybody's complaining on like,
Yeah.
oh, he kills these firefighters, and oh, he kills this gay couple that makes him homophobic, or he's killing first responders, and I'm like, y'all are complaining about that, but did not care a single bit that he killed two kids in this movie. In Halloween 2018, he kills a kid by breaking his neck, and then in this one he kills one of the trick or treaters with the silver shamrock masks. So I'm like, y'all don't have anything to say about like two kids being killed by Michael Myers, but you have a lot to. You accuse him of being homophobic, even though he just kills for the sake of killing. And I'm
Yeah,
like, come on, that's a double standard.
for sure. I was like, literally, stalkers, killers, they do not discriminate. They will kill anyone and
Yeah, like
everything.
like Michael Myers has proven time and time again he has no specific pattern.
Yeah.
It's like saying, oh, Michael Myers is sexist because he killed women, and I'm like, well, yeah, because he killed anybody that stood in his way. I'm like, come on.
I hate that. I really do be hating that.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
But like,
It's,
yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot that I didn't like.
yeah. I just, I mean, I still enjoyed the movie. It was still a great watch. It's
Yeah,
just,
I just think,
the
yeah,
editing was weird. The editing was weird.
yeah,
The introduction of people were weird, and you get attached, and then they're dead, and you're like, what did I do to
exactly.
deserve this? So
Yeah, yeah. So I definitely think if I think some scenes need to be shifted around in the timeline. If they had been shifted around, I think it would have made a little bit more sense as to like where everybody is at what specific time.
I need to take a look at their editor names. And I was like, huh. I was like, who fucked
Yeah.
up?
Um. But it is outside of that, I think it's time for us to talk about something that we really liked, and that was our the kills and like our favorite kill specifically.
Oh yeah,
So, like we said earlier, there's a lot of kills in this movie. Like Michael Myers kills a shit ton of people, and
don't discriminate.
yep, and a bunch of those deaths are freaking like disgusting and grimy and gory.
Yeah,
Like right off the bat, I mean the fireman. Like the guy that he almost splits in half by using like the saw against him.
yeah.
Like I was like, damn, Michael.
Like no one, literally no one. Michael's like, watch
Yeah,
this.
and like the way
I'll
he
make a slice
kills.
out of this.
Hey, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna make an example of these firefighters,
Yeah,
and even like the way he kills the way that he killed Big John by straight up just like gouging his eyes out and just stabbing him. I think
yeah,
I was like, God damn, Michael, like Jesus, dude. I will say it's not my favorite kill in the movie, but I think it's the funniest kill in the movie. It's
yeah,
the doctor when she goes to shoot Michael and then he just kicks the door and makes her shoot herself in the face. I
yeah.
thought that was
She wasn't
hilarious. And
very
like
smart.
me and my brother were laughing when that happened because we were just like that's like the dumbest kill in the movie, but it's also really really funny.
Yeah,
That and like the freaking Marion Chambers with like trying to pull her her one liner where she's like, Michael, this one's for Dr. Loomis. And she runs out of ammo. You're like, well, she's dead.
yeah.
um,
It's weird. My favorite kill is very weird.
okay, I'm curious
Only
to
for
know
this,
what was your favorite kill?
I don't know their name. I could be wrong. You could have already mentioned it. So you know the woman with that like the little uh drone
Oh yes, so
toy,
the
and
little
then
drone, yeah.
her husband. Like my favorite kill was literally when her husband gets killed, and the fact that she's there crying, screaming, just staring at Michael, just stab, grab another one, stab, grab another one, stab. I was
Because
like,
he was literally
He's
like,
about to make a whole birthday cake out of this guy.
yeah, it's because he was like trying to like test out which knife he liked best. So he was like, oh, that was a good stabbing motion. Maybe something bigger. Okay, this one's better.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god! Like I was like,
Yeah.
I could watch that scene for hours. I'm like, oh, you can
Honestly,
keep going.
yeah.
Okay,
And in terms of the kills, that was definitely my favorite kill scene.
okay.
Because like
Yeah,
it is so drawn out and it's so like dirty the way he does it. Because like obviously he goes through and he like hurts this guy quite a bit. Like he smashes his head against this wall over and over again, makes him bleed all over the place. And then his wife or whoever's there with him grabs a
yeah,
knife to defend herself. And Michael's like, "Oh, don't worry, I got this." And he just grabs a fluorescent light bulb, smashes it, and then stabs this woman in like the neck with it. And I
yeah.
was like, "God damn, Michael, Jesus Christ!"
And then
And not only that, this woman is bleeding out as she's seeing her husband get stabbed over and over again. And like it's so sad because you can
I'm
see her face and
trying.
you can see that like she can't do anything to stop it. Like she's gonna have the same result where she's just gonna die.
Yeah,
And like that for me is why it's like the best kill in the movie or like my favorite kill in the movie. Just because like first of all how gruesome it is and also how drawn out and like horrible it is for the victim.
yeah. She's just watching her husband, just getting
Get
black, black,
get turned into a
black,
pincushion.
black. Jesus.
Yeah.
But another one that I enjoyed. Holy crap! I just lost my train of thought. Okay, yes, yes. So this is really bad because this is a spoiler. Um, it's just a fact. I forgot these policemen's names. Do you know the policemen's names?
Um.
Do we know policemen's
Which one
names?
are you talking about?
Both the ones that we see in the what you call
In the
it
flashback scene?
flashback scene. Thomas Young Hawkins.
Oh yeah, Young Hawkins and his partner. Yeah, the one that Michael Myers had grabbed by the neck with a rope.
Yeah, so that one. The
Yeah,
one
that
that he
one.
grabs by the rope. When young Hawkins shoots his partner by accident, it's the way that Michael drops him and casually walks out like nothing. He's like, cool, bye. Like, it's
Thanks,
like,
thanks for doing my
boy!
job.
He's like, I'm like, no, it's just the fast walking is what got me laughing my ass off. I'm like, bro, you just gonna leave? He's like, thanks, bye,
See you.
deuces, have fun. I'm gonna head downstairs. Um,
Yeah,
catch you
it's,
later.
it's
But of
it's literally
course,
like he just drops the body. He's like, "Well, that takes care of that. Bye."
yeah. So this is the walking kills me. The walking scene. I was like, no, bro, what?
Yeah. Can we also
Yeah,
okay? Well, can we also talk about Cameron's kill? Because that one is like hard to watch. Where like he stabs him a couple times, and then he grabs his kid and like straight up smashes his head, and then his chest against like the banister on the stairs, like over and
oh
over again. I'm like, damn,
yeah,
like that one you can like feel it, like it hurts.
yeah. That kid did not have any time to breathe. He's like,
Yeah,
breathe. What? I'm
it was a
surprised he
tough kill.
survived the first couple of little ups and downs and side to side. He was playing a whole analog stick with that shit. He was like up, down, B. It's fucking
Yeah.
Michael.
Oh, but funny enough though, like based on like how hurt he was, I don't think he was gonna
Yeah,
survive any of that until like Michael just goes and like just snaps his neck, and he's like, "Well, that's done."
yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, don't worry, I was an expert in Atari. Wait, I forgot one more move. Black. Fucking. I give you the Twizzard Wizard. Here you go.
Twister Wizard. Okay, but can we also give special mention to Cameron because that man spent the entire movie wearing a skirt because it was still part of his Bonnie and Clyde costume. So he spent the entire movie wearing a skirt. I'm like, major props to you, Cameron.
Yeah, you did a good job.
That
You
man,
did a
that
good
man is
job.
like, I can do whatever I want in the skirt.
I can do better than you. Oh
Yeah,
man,
and
those
even
kills are.
and even his killing spree, like against the townspeople of
Yeah,
Haddonfield, like after they think he's dead, and he just gets up and just starts like massacring all the people that were around him. Like
yeah,
he is just unstoppable in this.
it's brutal for sure. I mean, it's just like the mob scene. It's like that was so sad, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
I felt bad. I was like, oh man, inmate gonna die because of Michael. Michael don't even give a shit.
Exactly. Like he was just there just to do what like barrel through whatever stood in his way and just make his way home. That's all he wanted.
Yeah, and like the fact that there was like the whole pattern that they pointed out, like he's like he just goes to Lori, and after he tortures Lori, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna head out," and then he goes on. He's like, "I'm gonna take a detour here. I'm gonna stop at McDonald's here, and by McDonald's, I mean these two couple, all this other stuff. All right, I'm back home. What's up, bitches?" For like a bit, then it goes back to do the same shit in Halloween. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Well, here's what was interesting though, and it's something that they kind of
Hmm.
explained in the movie. Michael isn't going specifically after Lori. Like the reason that he even shows up at Lori's house is because that doctor takes him over there.
Yeah,
But like if he hadn't done that, Michael would never have like run into Lori, possibly,
yeah,
and he would have just gone home and that would have been it. But like the reason, like even, I think it was one of the I think it's Karen that says it. It's like it's not about you. He just wants to go home. Like you just happen to be in the way.
yeah.
Um but with that out of the way, it is time for us to deep dive into our grave robbing facts. So let's go ahead and do that.
All right, see you guys there.
Alright, and welcome to our grave robbing facts, where we bring you some behind the scenes trivia about the film that we're discussing or the TV show. And today it happens to be some trivia about Halloween Kills. So, Vanya, if you
Yeah.
want to start us off, you're more than welcome to do so.
So our first grave robbing fact is that David Gordon Green recalled that when they attempted to find a yearbook photo of one of Michael Myers' victims from the 1978 film, he came across a yearbook of Bob Odenkirk that he thought resembled the original actor John Michael Graham. The rights issues were resolved so that Green could use Odenkirk's photo instead of the actual actor. Odenkirk is therefore credited as Bob despite not physically appearing in it.
Correct. So, for like the Halloween history of this, Bob is the guy that Michael impales against the closet and just like straight up like hangs him there in the first
Yeah,
Halloween.
yeah,
And yeah, because of that, they couldn't find like a picture of him during that time period, so they just grabbed a picture of Bob Odenkirk, who you might know as Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad, or from Better Call Saul. So I thought that was pretty funny. It was a nice little Easter egg that he's just kind of in the movie, but also not really in the movie.
yeah. Oh, that's so cool, though. I love it.
Yeah,
We love references back to the 1978 film.
exactly.
Hmm.
But our second grave robbing fact is that early in the movie, the wagon that Michael Myers steals at the beginning of Halloween can actually be seen parked behind young Hawkins and Pete during one of the flashback sequences in 1978. So, like the Smiths Grove's vehicle that he stole in the first Halloween, you can actually see it parked behind the two police officers.
Uh, that's kind of
So
cool.
that's a
I
nice
like
little
that.
Easter egg to the past events.
Oh man, that's kind of cool. I need to rewatch it now and like actually like take note of that next
Yeah,
time I'm watching the film. I feel like a lot of people had to rewatch this film to like actually get everything that was happening. This was actually my second time watching the film, so I actually got it the second time through rather than the first time. The first time, that movie felt like a blur to me, but I got to appreciate it more the second time, and I get to watch more Easter eggs, which is always fun.
Yeah.
So our third grave robbing fact is that Ross Bacon, who played the mental patient named Tivoli in Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, passed away before the release of Halloween Kills.
And
Oh,
Tivoli is the mental patient that dies in the film, like the one that jumps out of the window. So
oh
unfortunately,
no!
yeah, he passed away before he could see the finished product.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's a shame.
Not the inmate, not the inmate.
Poor
Not.
Tivoli. Like, I felt so bad for that character.
Yeah, I was like, damn, like he didn't deserve that shit. You're not Michael.
Right?
You were just scared. I still don't know why he decided to steal the car, though. I was still a little confused about that.
Probably because he just wanted to get to Haddonfield instead of just walking there. But
That's
then, of
fair.
course, like, the biggest plot point of that is, like, how the hell did he learn how to drive a car?
Uh,
Because he's been in a mental asylum since he was 6 years old. Like, how the hell did he learn how to drive?
well, he didn't do a very good job. He did kind of crash into a building.
Who? Oh, no, I meant Michael Myers. I'm sorry. I thought you were I didn't realize you were talking about Tivoli.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Like
Tivoli just,
Tivoli,
like,
like
crashed into a building. The poor guy. He's probably just
yeah,
disoriented.
but
But
yeah.
yeah, our next grave robbing facts here. The logo for the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, as seen in this film, is actually taken directly from Halloween 2. So it's the exact same logo that they used in Halloween 2. Excuse me, even though it's no longer canon, they decided to just use that same logo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, that was about right. That sucks though. Why?
Why? What do you
Why is
mean,
it
why?
not decanon? Why is it decanonized?
Well, because Halloween 2018, it just kind of erases everything that happened. It's supposed to be like Halloween, the original, then Halloween 2018, then Halloween Kills. Like, it just ignores the other ones.
Uh,
So it's no longer like the official canon.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess we need to stop wearing our shirts now. Whoops. Like anyway. So our fifth grave robbing fact is that Paul Rudd was offered to reprise his role as the Tommy Doyle character, but due to scheduling conflicts, Ghostbusters Afterlife, he had to decline. Aw, this guy sucks. It is sad.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see Paul Rudd come back as Tommy Doyle, because we had seen it in Halloween 6, Revenge of Curse of Michael Myers, one of those of Michael Myers, and he was pretty good. So I think it would have been
Mhm.
really interesting to see him come back, playing that same character. But alas, we did get Anthony Michael Hall, who was pretty good in this movie. For those of you who don't know, he is the geek in 16 Candles and Weird Science and Breakfast Club.
Oh,
That's pretty
I
cool.
like that.
This one is just weird, and I'm very, very glad they didn't do this. But Busta Rhymes was almost included in this film, but he was scrapped. Because Busta
Mm.
Rhymes was also in Halloween Resurrections. He's the one that does kung fu moves on Michael Myers and beats the living shit out of him.
Oh,
And then also has like one of the most iconic lines in that movie, which is he walks in, he sees Michael Myers, and he's like, "Trick or treat, motherfucker."
oh my god! I think it's just to add a little element of here's some funny shit.
Probably,
Here
yeah.
you go. So, our seventh grade robbing fact is that Michael killing the firefighters in that one scene is a reference to one of the unused endings of Halloween Resurrection, where Michael wakes up on a stretcher and strangles Freddie Harris until Sarah kills him with the firefighter's axe to the head. I'm like, that would have been interesting to see, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they didn't use that because I liked, but I didn't like this firefighter scene as though you have previously heard from
Yeah.
our discussion before this.
Yeah. See, I personally liked it. I thought it was a nice little callback to that ending to Halloween Resurrections. But granted, Halloween Resurrections is god awful. It is my least favorite movie in the franchise.
agree.
But moving on to our 8th grave robbing fact. This one is the only Halloween film featuring the character of Laurie Strode in which she shares no scenes with Michael Myers. So in this movie, they never see each other.
Oh shit!
It's the first time that they do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. But yeah, what the? Now that I think about it, where the fuck was Lori
She was just in the
towards the end
hospital
of the movie?
this entire movie.
She's been vibing with the whole crowd. I thought the crowd went to the middle of the street to try and find the bitch. The
Yeah.
fuck? Oh no, confusing. Anyway, but our ninth grade robbing fact is though filmmakers made a new mask for the 2018 film that looks similar to the original mask, but still looking different, they did actually recreate the original William Shatner mask for the flashback in the opening sequence. That is very cool. I like that. I actually really enjoyed the 2018 mask though. Like,
Oh, I
it's so
love the
naughty
2018
and
mask.
gross.
I do
I
like
love
this
it.
mask too. I like the design of this mask with like the burn marks and even like the bloody like print on the side of his head. I thought it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's
But
all gross and aged and shit.
yeah.
Love
But our next and our last grave robbing fact, number 10, is that although every previous sequel was retconned out of existence by Halloween 2018, this movie still features a scene from Halloween 2 of Sheriff Brackett, viewing Annie's body. So at least I like that they use that because it ties into Halloween Kills because his daughter is brutally murdered.
Yeah.
And I like that they put that in there so like you can kind of see that little flashback scene and see what he went through.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Michael Myers, like I said, he don't discriminate gender, sex,
Nope.
what have
He
you,
does not.
race. You're in his way, you will die.
Yep.
Have sex and you'll die. No, I'm kidding. That's Mean Girls. Wrong movie.
But
Yeah, that was our.
that is our grave robbing facts. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great robbing fact. So now back to the original episode.
Yeah.
Clash.
Right. And we are back to our discussion on Halloween Kills. So we've gone through the things we liked, the things we didn't like, as well as our favorite kills and our overall thoughts on the kills. But now it is time to talk about certain people, certain characters. We want to talk about the characters that we liked, some characters that we just didn't particularly like, and who our favorite characters were.
Okay.
So do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I need a list of characters. Hold on. I'm god awful.
So I can tell you right off the bat who my favorite characters were. Karen, Laurie's daughter, Big John and Little John, and Lonnie. I like that Lonnie had like a good amount of stuff to do in this movie.
Yeah, he did. How are they? Lonnie and Halloween Kills. Hold on. Hey guys, I'm googling in the middle of the episode. How are you? Oh yeah, 100%. What? Yeah, Lonnie. Yeah, he did have to do it quite a bit. Now I remember. See, I'm awful with names, but good with faces. Then as soon as it clicked with the scene, I got it. But yes,
Plus, the actor who
100%
played him did a really good job. The actor that played him is actually in Midnight Mass. He plays Joe Colley on Midnight Mass, so that's a nice little year for him because he's been in 2 big things, horror-related things.
See, guys, even though you will not win an Oscar for horror, there are still good things coming for you.
Yeah. But going back to our favorite characters, like I said, Big John and Little John just cracked me up. I love how they were just playing their version of Marco Polo, which is just them saying Big John, Little John. And I love all of the memes that they've made where it's like Big John, Little John, yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed that too.
Yeah, I love their little relationship and I love their chemistry together. which I think made it all the more sad when they passed away or when they were killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I also like the little cameo by the kid that was in the first one, the one that was like clipping his dirty toenails.
Yeah. That's so
I love that.
gross.
I love that kid. He's like, it's past my bedtime, and I'm over here clipping my dirty toenails.
Ugh, it was so good though.
I love that kid.
Yeah.
Um, but then going into my least favorite characters, not necessarily characters that I hated or characters that I didn't like. I think it was just characters that were a little underdeveloped. And I would say that's outside of Lonnie, the original survivors, because they didn't really do much. Like
100%.
especially because Lindsay was the only survivor. So like Marion got killed off almost immediately, and then her husband got killed, right? No, yes, her husband got killed in Halloween 2018,
Hmm.
and yeah, just wait, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, she was just killed immediately. Tommy is able to do some stuff, but he still is killed off. The only original survivor that still makes it through this movie is still Lindsay, Lindsay Wallace.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is
Wait,
just brutally
Lori,
murdered.
Lori's granddaughter?
No, no, no. From the survivors of the original attack from 1978, one of the
Oh
kids
yeah.
that she was babysitting. Yeah. So like she was at least a survivor in this.
Yeah. Okay. I think.
Yeah. But in terms of characters, I didn't the other characters that I didn't really like. There really weren't a whole lot. Because there are some characters that I didn't love in the first one, but they were, they took them out and just replaced it with other stuff. Like I didn't
Mhm.
really care much for the cop with the cowboy hat. So I'm glad he
Yeah.
wasn't in this movie a whole lot. I just don't really care for his character.
Hmm.
Um, but I do like the little petition that I put on Twitter that from now on we're not gonna play Marco Polo. We're just gonna replace that with Big John and Little John.
That's gonna be your new thing
That's
now.
gonna be my new thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, I love them so much that I changed my name on Twitter. My name on Twitter is literally Medium John.
Medium
So
John. Oh
you
my
got,
god.
Little John, Medium John, and Big John. What now? Was there any characters that you specifically liked, or wish they could have done more, or stuff like that?
So for me, it's a couple, or no, like no more than a couple. So for sure, it's definitely Michael Myers in general, because like I said, it's just the way that he moved and like he was like very brutal, and I was like, damn, like if you keep moving out like this, you might be my new favorite character. You'd be kicking Chucky out of the water at this point, like. But like but I really did enjoy that. We actually kind of see a little bit about what Michael Myers actually looks like, but
Yeah, just like a little tiny, tiny, tiny
a
bit.
little, but we don't really see him. But we do get like a snippet because now we see the reaction of the town, how they what they perceive of what they know him of, or as kind of thing. But besides Michael himself, I think it's the gay couple.
Big
I
John, Little
really
John.
enjoyed. Yeah, they just literally they were so funny, and the
Yeah,
fact that I really liked that, the scene where they like have like different music and they just kind of vibe before, like, they die. It's like it was like really cool.
yeah,
But besides that, definitely um the nurse that, that got killed off immediately too, because her exaggerated bravery to go to the car, and then she's like, oh, Michael's inside the car, and then tries to grab her husband, and then like, but they were helpful. The fact that they had gone through this scare and they'd still decided to help, like especially
exactly.
from their car being stolen, like shows a lot about they're like how good potential characters like to keep them around would be, but of course they didn't, and kind of cool. But
Yeah.
they gave them the okay, we couldn't give you like kind of like a supporting role, I guess you could say, but here's some silver shamrock mask to commemorate that you were still a memorable character because now you get to be an Easter egg.
Yes, you do.
Congratulations. Yeah.
But after we've talked about our characters, I think it is time for us to talk about the music in this film.
Yes. The fact that it references back to the 70s. Like
Oh
this there was a
yes,
70s like soundtrack, like
yes.
especially during the flashback and some throughout the film too, which I was genuinely surprised about. I'm like, wow, like this genuinely feels like I'm still watching a
Mm-hmm.
Halloween film. It doesn't matter how old it gets.
Especially the that one musical thing that goes like ding, ding, ding. I'm like, ooh, that is just so creepy already. That and even like the sound that he makes whenever he shows up, that little ding.
Hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool too.
It's more modernized. Of course, they keep the
Yeah.
original in the 70s, but then as we are more in the modern take of it, it's like more modernized, but it still creates that feel. Except a little bit when he attacks the movie, the music kind of gets drowned out in the action scene a
I
little bit.
agree. Yeah.
That I wish they didn't because I feel like that's like the charm of it. Because then, but obviously throughout the film when he's not attacking, like you get to enjoy the nostalgia of
Hmm.
the old stuff. But then, of course, during the actual attack scenes when they're struggling, there's like a like it gets drowned out in the mixing of the sound, which I kind of wish they would tone it down a bit on the action part rather than on the musical style because
Hmm.
I guess
Yeah, that was one
it's
of my issues too, where like the music itself felt like a little drowned out by all the sound that was going on. Like to the point
yeah.
where like I'm gonna have to look up the soundtrack so I can really hear it and get like a feel for the score because I just wasn't able to when I was over there. So I think it would be a little bit, advantageous to do that. But
Yeah.
yeah, and even then, like the pieces that are there that I can clearly hear, they're good. They're really good. But I think I just like the baseball bat scene in Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
Just like, and even like the piece where Allison sees the shape for the first time. Like that is such a creepy sound in Halloween 2018, and like I feel like some of that was like missing a little bit in this version of it in Halloween Kills.
I'm gonna have to go and rewatch that. But I
Mm.
mean it could be that, I feel like not only did they keep a lot of the that old feel like we were talking about, but there were like some new sounds that I just wasn't a fan of. I'm like, I don't know what you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to do,
Yeah,
but
there were some like weird choices
don't do
being
it.
made.
I was like, don't do that. Just bring back the old shit. Do like it's because the old soundtrack or even like the modern take on it still, like I said, is just it still feels like a Halloween movie. And if you try to take elements away from that, it just I don't know, like
It
I don't
just
know what you're
doesn't feel
trying to
like
do with it.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll just feel like, oh, I'm watching another slasher film. Even though we are
Yeah.
kind of like in a resurrection of some slasher films
Mm-hmm.
coming on right now.
I
But
mean, we got Scream coming out next year too, so it's a
hmm
whole lot of good stuff with the slashers going on,
and
and the Chucky
Chucky
TV
already.
series.
Yeah, I have to start watching that too.
Oh, it's so good. It's a really fun show.
I'm
Um,
excited to get started on it.
yeah. But I think that's really all we had to say on the music. Like I said, I don't think we loved it. We liked it.
Besides,
Hmm?
besides, Ghost at the end of the credits. I'm like,
Oh yes, yes. We gotta talk
so,
about Ghost at the end of the
so
credits because that song is so good. It's
so
such a great
the
song.
way that Ghost released this song. So of course the actual original mixing of it. I mean, if you guys already didn't know, hi, I'm like a ghost whore. Like I live and breathe the Ghost BC all day, every day. But in the YouTube video, the music is more rock heavy based, with the 80s vibe, and that's fine, whatever. But the one in the credits is the movie edited version, and that's meant to go in the credits, but it gave a different feel to it. It kept the original, like lyrics and everything, and some instrumentals in there, but I don't know, like they gave it that Halloween vibe. Like you could tell like they were trying to mix some like the original doo 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 like in some sort of form inside the song, and I loved
Yeah.
it so much. Like, and now that I get to have it on the vinyl and I pre-ordered that shit, I'm like so ready. I'm just like I used the crap out of that, but it was really good. What did you think about it?
Oh, it's a great song. Like I said earlier in some previous episodes, I haven't really listened to a lot of Ghost's music yet, just because like I'm making my way through my back catalog of music. But this song was amazing. Like
Yeah,
both the original and the movie edit were
yeah.
so good.
I'm excited because I did really appreciate the fact that Tobias Forge was able to make edits to his own song. What I did learn is that the director reached out to Tobias and he
Hmm.
said, "Hey, I want you to create a song for the Halloween movie, if you're interested." And Tobias Forge is like,
Hell yeah, I'm
"Great, I'm
interested.
interested, but unfortunately, because I'm in the middle of releasing like an album pretty fucking soon. Like I have a list of songs that I'm ready to release,
Hmm.
but I'll see what works." So Tobias Forge apparently already has a whole bunch of list of songs that he's ready to drop, and I'm just like, give me the list. Already drop some shit. I'm tired of waiting. But he did remember that the original song was supposed to be named like Harvest Moon or whatever, but then
Hmm.
he changed it to Hunter's Moon because Hunter's Moon represents the moon that the Halloween only falls in. So he's like, okay, so he made some adjustments to the lyrics to make it fit in the Halloween realm that will help it like market well for the movie. So he
Hmm.
made adjustments. And he's like, hey, I had already made this song, but you can have it. I made some adjustments. I hope you like it. And the director's like, great, I'll take it. So like he didn't even have to rewrite an entire new song. He just
Yeah,
like pre-list. It was like, here you go. Like it's like it was still
exactly.
good. I think it was still a smart choice. So good job, Tobias. But yeah,
Yeah. But now that we've talked about the music, I think it's time for us to get to the last section that we wanted to talk about, and that was more of the technical aspects of it, and specifically the flashback sequences.
okay.
So, yes.
Before that, I wanted to say this because I feel like it's a technical side. So I'm not going to talk about specifically about the flashback sequences. Hold on. delete. I had to let that one
Yeah.
out. Ugh, that was annoying. So the thing I wanted to talk about is how fucking impressed I was. I mean, this could be something simple, but I was so impressed with like the shots of when Michael Myers was like killing the firefighters and the way that the camera, the
The
it's
first
just the
person view.
view from inside the helmet.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I was so impressed with those, like especially like the flopping over of the head, and then like when that same firefighter that was dead, like we see him like kind of still going hard like into the other thing. I was like, oh my god, like I really love those shots. Like please teach me how to do these shots. Like also like it like from a technical side of like camera work and all that stuff. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
Um
There's a lot of great shots in this, like the one you're discussing, with the firefighters. I really like the shot of some of the rioters, Tommy, Lonnie, and their kids finding the bodies of the doctor and Marion. Because
yeah,
that is such a cool imagery because it's just these dead, bleeding up bodies wearing the
Silver
silver
Shamrock.
shamrock masks, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely. I was thoroughly really impressed with the camera work in this one.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like it was very crisp. It was very um I don't know, like it just felt really clean to me. Like it didn't feel messy.
Hmm.
And the action shots didn't feel too shaky either.
Which I really
Um
appreciate. Yes.
yeah, because normally when you're filming a lot of action shots, you want to have like a shaky movement almost like following with the action. But
Hmm.
sometimes you don't always want to go that route because at that point you're just really desperate for something to happen. It's just at that point it's just annoying to
It's just
watch.
distracting. Yeah.
It's very distracting. So I really appreciated the time that they did for that. But
Yeah.
besides that, the more technical side, as he wanted to discuss, is
Yes.
the flashback, which of course still impressive
Oh yeah.
to me. Is fair.
But actually, before I do that, I just thought of another scene that I really liked when it came to the cinematography, and that is the ending massacre, where it's just
Hmm.
these shots, like these really cool close-ups of Michael Myers and his knife like cutting through people or like beating people up. I thought those were really cool because it's just these black backgrounds with his hand just just making his way through this crowd of people.
Yeah, it's also like crazy. How surprising that ending was too in general. Like we actually see like the whole entire town come together and the way that was shot.
Hmm.
But at the same time, he's strong and it's like every time he kills, he just gets a new power. That's one of the more memorable quotes coming out there too. It's like the more he kills, it's like the more power he gains,
The
kind of
more he
thing.
transcends, yeah.
And so he's like, "Yep, y'all want to fuck with me? I'm about to fuck with y'all even more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna become a god."
But moving on now to those flashback sequences, I love the attention to detail and everything. First of
Hmm.
all, of course, Michael Myers, because he did not die in the water trap that they made for him, or the fire trap. And just the look of him is just a spitting image of the original from 1978 with the crisp looking mask with the nice design on it and everything. And again, the attention to detail, like when they walk into the Myers house and they find the body of the dead dog that he had eaten. And even when they get to to Judith's room, you can see a broken piece of glass from a shingle that had fallen on the house, which also happened straight to home on VHS. So I thought that was a nice little callback to that. Um, and again, just like the overall look of Michael Myers was just incredible.
Yeah.
And they
Um.
even did a really good job because it was all shot digital, but then they decided to add graining in post production.
Yeah. Which still made it look pretty clean.
Oh yeah.
For me, I noticed it the most when Lonnie was getting like bullied by the other kids. I think, I think it was Lonnie. Um, he was getting bullied by the other kids, and they were like calling him a whole bunch of stuff. And then the police officer was like, "Go home!" Like there's a guy in a white mask that just killed 3 people down the block. That's when you can really see how far back, how much work they actually put into this to make it seem authentic to that time
Yeah.
frame that they were referring to. That's when I like really really saw it. I was like, yep,
Oh
this is a pretty
yes.
solid
The
effect.
attention in
Like,
detail was just so good.
and like kids made fun of each other like in those movies, like it was nothing. Like, and you say something like that to a kid, like everybody's like,
Nah, fam, I'm
nah,
good.
we canceling you, nah, family. It's cancel culture nowadays. Hi,
Yeah.
welcome to 2021 and Gen Zers. Hi. Okay, Boomer.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that was bad.
But yeah, like I said, the technical aspects were really good. This was a really strong movie in terms of its cinematography, in terms of the way they made things look. From the overall chaos of the hospital to the very suburban look of all the homes that Michael Myers enters and everything like that. Um, and again,
And
like I
the
said,
lighting.
the lighting was really, really good too, especially on those
Mhm.
pumpkins, because it's part of the charm of those pumpkins is not being able to see the lighting on them. so you don't like
Yeah.
see inside. So I thought that was really well handled as well.
And I forgot to mention this from a post fucking production standpoint. The fucking beginning of this movie, the fact that it feels very 1978, like the way it started. But of course it's not just one pumpkin, it's like several pumpkins, but
Yeah,
still, like, they still kept the original like lettering and, like, that pumpkin feel in the beginning to, like, really, like, make sure that it's like, hey, like,
make it pop.
calling back yeah, make it pop. It was really good. I was like, damn, I really do commend these people that stay true to, like, the original art. I mean, of course, still disregarding the other remakes, but still, like, going back to that, still pretty freaking cool from a post production
Oh
aspect.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the sound editing too, with like the the impacts that Michael Myers has on like the people where he like stabs them or he like squishes them in something. Like the sound of that is just friggin' nightmarish.
Mm-hmm. But now that I think about it, I mean, this is kind of like, I don't know if this is a dumb question. It might be a dumb question. Like, the original font for Halloween, or, like, like, is that just solely reserved now because it would be a copyrighted under that film, or can anybody still use that font, like, specifically
Um,
use?
that's a very good question. I am not sure actually. I think it's supposed to
Can you
be.
copyright a font? Can you copyright
I
a
don't
font?
even know if you can copyright a font. I think they could just use it.
Yeah,
I've never heard of anybody copywriting a font, so I don't know.
because, like, you know how we recognize certain fonts by the way that they look, and then, like, you can make Stranger Things, like, have, like, the really big S, and, with, like, in the between the lines and with the long stuff. But if you tried to do anything like that similarly, would you get copyrighted if you had tried to make another movie off
Yeah,
of
I
it?
have no idea. I really don't.
Yeah, time to
Um,
Google that and,
yeah,
and put it somewhere. Yeah,
yeah. But I
things I think
believe,
about.
but I believe that we've really discussed the stuff that we really enjoyed, the things that we didn't, our favorite kills, our non-favorites. The whole saga going on right now the um, with the people that Michael had knocked out, with the people that were attacking him, like the sedatives and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Um, and we talked about the characters that we liked, some of the sound design, even the characters that we liked. So like I said, I'm very happy with this
a lot.
movie. It was a really fun movie to watch. It was really entertaining. It was really violent. Um,
And I'm guessing we have another 2 years to find out what happens.
Next year actually, Halloween Ends is coming out next year,
Oh,
so
I
we'll
guess
get
did
to
they
see.
delay?
Yeah, but
Did they
what's
do?
interesting is it's going to have a 4 year time jump, so it's going to go forward an extra 4 years.
Oh,
So we're going to catch up to like modern time.
oh, cool.
Yeah. Um, but outside of that, I don't think I have anything else to add. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No,
All
I
right.
really enjoyed this movie. So yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
it's Halloween, and we watched a traditional Halloween film. We didn't talk to you guys about other little gibbery other Halloween movie traditions, but, something fresh, something new,
Yeah,
and of
exactly.
course something that, hopefully you guys will also enjoy watching, now that we have given you a little bit of an insight instead of just giving you an entire summary of it.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, with that, I think it is time to call this an episode. We're gonna go ahead and do our basic housekeeping. So, Vanya, where can we find you?
Everyone. So you can find me on YouTube and on Twitter under HHN Cultist. I basically do horror related stuff such as makeup regarding to Halloween Horror Nights, horror movies, horror TV shows, what have you, and also keeping up with Universal Studio updates, kind of like a little theme park vlog kind of thing. But now that we are done with the Halloween season, I am switching over a little bit of gears to Krampus Cultist, which I basically cover Christmas events, not just like, evil, but also like funsy stuff that you guys can do. But I also really love Grinchmas and like Krampus stuff. So I will be going to a few Krampus events as well. So hopefully I will be covering some of that.
Very nice,
But I
very
will be
nice.
going back to HHN Cultist back in January. But you can still find me under that name anyway. That name is solely mine on Twitter and YouTube, hopefully. But yeah, but there's other people more interesting in the podcast other than myself. Yussef, where can we find you?
Yes. So for my personal stuff, you can find me on Instagram at Yusef1220 and on Twitter at itbeyusef. I mostly post a little bit more on Twitter more than anything else. And then for our podcast, you can find us on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. And actually, something I want to mention for anybody who's listening to this on Spotify, we used Anchor as a distribution platform, and one of the new things that Anchor added for Spotify specifically is questions, like a Q&A. So in the last couple of episodes, I've added a couple questions there, and we'd love to hear some answers. One of them was, for example, like what was your favorite scene from Army of Darkness, or what was your favorite scene from Evil Dead 2013? And you have an option to answer that question, and you can reach out to us that way, and we can read those out on some next episodes.
I'd love
Yeah.
to hear some feedback on that.
And then for the rest of our socials, you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as and YouTube, as Sounds from the Grave, as well as our email, soundsfromthegravepodcast@gmail.com. And the last thing I wanted to mention, actually, I personally recently became what they call an ambassador for a jewelry brand called Ghost Jewels. But I decided to combine that with Sounds from the Grave. So Ghost Jewels makes a lot of really cool, like 100% metal jewelry, whether that's rings, necklaces, and some bracelets. And they're all inspired by like horror and occult stuff. So, for example, the last three that I got were actually a ring made to look like the Frankenstein's monster head. And then another one with a demonic skull and horns, almost like a like a ram skull. And then also a necklace with a really interesting, like, satanic looking star. So they make, and like I said, they're all like really high quality materials. They're all like grade metals, and we do have a promo code that you guys can use for that. So if you go to ghostjewels.com and pick up any items that they carry there, if you type in the promo code GraveSounds30, you can actually get, instead of 30, they didn't tell me this at the time, they told me it was 30, they actually changed it, you can get 50% off your order. So the promo code again is GraveSounds30. So you can use that at the checkout lane, and you can get 50% off your order. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely check them out. They're at www.ghostjewels.com and get some spooky jewelry.
Sounds good. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah. And I'll be posting some pictures of that on our socials as well once I get everything situated, and I'm actually planning like a little bit of a photo shoot with a friend, so I might use that as an opportunity to show them off, and some very good lighting and like some cool atmosphere.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah, but that is our episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed this version of our movie review. Instead of just more of a summary, it's more of like a breakdown of what we did, what the aspects of the movie were. So we bid you a good night or good day whenever you're listening to this, and that you stay spooky. And happy Halloween, everybody.
Spooky, happy Halloween.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.